Hi there, Jeff here from the Wetsuit Centre, talking to you today about the Billabong Solution Xero summer wetsuit, 3mm wetsuit for summer 2013. The Billabong range has become larger since the introduction of the SGX and the Solution Xero. The idea being the SGX is really a key sort of performance wetsuit, really lightweight, really flexible for those guys that really demand that out of a wetsuit. The Solution Xero is a step above that, and that is basically boasting still the same features, the same flexibility and movement in the suit, also a lot of added warmth, which comes down to these sort of technical features within the suit. So why, you ask, would I spend that kind of money, or that much money, on a summer wetsuit? This is a 3mm suit, so it's actually 3mm the whole way through, I do believe, just like the winter suit was a 5mm the whole way through. The reason it's sort of thick the whole way through is because the quality of neoprene is so good, it's so flexible, that they don't really sort of need to mix it up that much. And also, the reason you'd spend this kind of money on a suit like this is really if you want to wear it pretty much the majority of the year. A 3mm suit like this with this amount of features and this amount of warmth you can really wear for the majority of the year. So rather than having like a 4.3 and a 3.2, you can wear this probably the times that you would wear a 4.3, this would still be fine, and then obviously a 3.2 as well, meaning it would be even warmer in the summer months. So it's really a sort of like a top end suit for someone that's looking to wear it for the majority of the year. So why, basically, does it cost as much as it does? What keeps it, makes it so warm? The reason it makes it that it is so warm is comes down to what's sort of going on inside in terms of the thermal lining and that kind of thing. But I'll show you that in a second. Initially, the first thing to talk about is the seams and the neoprene. The neoprene itself is Billabong's top end neoprene, the Yamamoto neoprene, which comes out of their Japanese factory. Basically, it is a very lightweight, high grade neoprene, extremely flexible. And extremely lightweight, non-absorbent as well, so dries quickly, feels nice and light in the water because it doesn't absorb too much water, but ultimately it's just very, very flexible. So that type of neoprene is pretty exclusive to this wetsuit. You don't really get that in the other sort of suits, so the Yamamoto neoprene is a big, unique selling point of this suit. The seams is probably the next thing that you'll notice. It has got the super seam technology, which is basically this really, really thin liquid taping in all the seams. Traditionally, liquid taping was quite fat and thick to make sure that it was robust and it wouldn't sort of break, or the seams wouldn't actually pull apart. But technology has moved on, and as it has, they've managed to sort of thin out the liquid taping throughout the whole suit. I mean, it's very thin, which means there's less resistance there and it's more flexible. This taping is on the inside and outside of the wetsuit, and basically that just creates a completely stitchless seam, which is reinforced with this sort of very thin taping, meaning it's still very flexible. All the seams are still bent, pre-bent basically, so they don't sort of pull back in any way, shape or form. That super seam technology is the whole way through the suit on the lower end. So no stitching, just very sort of thin, flexible seams. And the feedback on those has been really good. We haven't had too many problems with those with suits coming back. Some of the more standard stuff that you'd expect in a suit like this, you've got the Duraflex knee pad, standard knee pad, which basically is a very sort of robust material. Make sure that knees don't wear through and your suit dies basically. Some other things, key little features, you've got sort of taping around the cuffs of the leg, just to sort of reinforce the suit, you can see that. And also you've got some of the little things like little bit of liquid taping inside, just grip against your ankles, make sure they don't move or the legs fold up too easily, and you get that around the cuffs as well. Just a little bit of taping just to make sure the seal is better with your skin around the cuff. One thing that's quite nice about the Billabong suits, they do sort of thin out the cuffs quite a lot, so it creates a better seal around your wrist and nice and flat and more comfortable, and you get that around the neck as well. The neck is kind of dipped as well, as you can see there, and basically the reason for that is the shape of a man's neck, just to go around the Adam's apple and make it a little bit more comfortable as well. Okay, you've got the smooth skin panel on the front of the suit, and you get that around the back as well. It's just a specially treated neoprene, and you get it down the hips as well. Wind resistant, which stops any wind penetrating the suit. Again, that's sort of moving towards the warmth side of things, keep the wind out of the suit so you can wear it for a longer part of the year. It's a chest zip system. Chest zip comes straight along the side here, sealed on one side, on the other side it opens up, standard chest zip. Basically it's got a specially treated zip, doesn't let any water in. Any water that does come in through, it's met with the overhead dry mat system, and this is basically geared up to be a wetsuit within a wetsuit. So as you can imagine, this collar comes up really high, seals around your neck, goes up and over your head, like this flap here, and then fastens on the front here. Basically what this does, it's like a wetsuit in itself. So any water that is sort of coming in through the collar or coming up from the side, instead of sort of maybe getting into the wetsuit, this is minimised with the sort of complex system here, the Drymax system. Keeps the water out, and any water that does come in through the chest zip system is guided out through here and through the little drain holes, which you can see in the bottom of the chest zip there and around the back of the chest zip here. Okay, so it's all sort of promoting dryness basically and keeping the water out. A little bit more complicated, as I say, this system buttons around the front and goes up and over the head. So you've basically got two flaps there, so it's really unlikely that any water's going to get in, and if it is, it's just going to come out through the drain holes. So, moving inside the wetsuit, we can have a little look at why the suit is renowned for being so warm. Now, as I say, you might be wearing a 4-3 in some parts of the year at the moment, or depends on what country that you're in. If you're sort of surfing in maybe the south of France or in Portugal, a lot of the guys down there still wear sort of 4-3s, or even in the Med in Italy. And then overseas in Australia, guys sometimes wearing 4-3s, depending on whereabouts you are in the country. And so the idea of this is a 3mm suit the whole way through, but with all the added features you can drop to a 3mm suit, and you'll still sort of be warm enough. And the reason is because of all the sort of lining inside the suit. Also the quality of neoprene is going to be very good. There's a lot of air in the neoprene which keeps you warmer because it insulates you. But that combined with the sort of flash dry, I shouldn't say that because it's a Ripco terminology, but it's essentially the same thing. It's just been come out of the same sort of principle. It's just a back-combed polypro the whole way through the suit, and basically that's like a thermal lining which is back-combed to make it fluffy, which makes it dry very quick. Because all the water is pulled out of the suit itself onto the fibre ends, and then that dries out nice and quick with just a little bit of air. But primarily it's very, very warm as well, because that sort of furry sensation against your skin is going to stop heat leaving your body as quickly. It's going to retain it inside the suit and keep you warmer. But another benefit is that it does dry quickly, and that is the whole way through the suit, the whole way through the front and back. So imagine that's going to keep you really, really warm, but it's not too heavy. It actually feels nice and light. Billabong as well have sort of gone, probably for patent reasons basically, they've had to change the actual material slightly. So they've cut grooves in it basically, but they say that that also helps channel water out of the suit, but I'm not sure how much that actually does in reality. But having said that, I do have a flash bomb, I have that material in it, and it is really, really warm. So that goes the whole way through the suit, and then that's basically taped on the inside of the suit as well, with a special sort of very flexible taping which just reinforces the seam. So you get the liquid taping inside the arms, that kind of thing, but it doesn't really work with this material, it doesn't stick to it, so they have to use that sort of taping on the inside of the suit. So that's pretty much everything that's going on with the Billabong Solution Xero 3mm suit for summer 2013, or depending where you are, winter 2013. A really good wetsuit, and definitely sort of expensive wetsuit, but it's going to be great for people that want to have a suit like this to wear for the majority of the year and sort of take the place of their 4-3. So a recommendation from the Wetsuit Centre.